Welcome back to AllTheMons. I'm Bumstar, and now that we've started working towards the Pika Star, the next big thing we need to focus on is finishing up our gym progression. So that way we can unlock the ATM team gyms and start working towards the badges we need. But before we start doing that, we're going to automate the XL experience candies we need for the Pika Star, which kind of gives us a double edge. Not only do we need them to craft the Pika Star, but it'll be nice to have them to level up our Pokemon in between gym battles. So let's get started. We're going to need the campfire pots with campfires down, and then we're going to need Skulk and Honey, which luckily we have Mystical Agriculture producing both of these, so it's not going to be a problem. And while we're doing this, I'm going to repurpose this house. So I'm going to use this room to automate experience candies, and we're going to be using Super Factory Manager because I set it up with bees a couple episodes ago in between episodes and didn't really get to show off the cool features that it has. Went ahead and set up a wireless connector here. We have an interface so we can start pulling the items we need from this. And we're going to go ahead and just set this up right now for Skulk and Honey and just set these both to a stack each. So it always has a stack in here ready to go. And let's go ahead and make sure to put a crafting card in here. So that way these are always crafted. And just make sure you have a pattern set up for both of these, which it doesn't look like I have the Skulk pattern set up. And now that we have that pattern set up, it's ready to go. Perfect. So with Super Factory Manager, we're going to need inventory cables, a factory manager disc, and our label gun. And we're going to go ahead and set this up over here. And we're going to have to remove some of these floors to put our inventory cables down because these inventory cables have to be touching everything that we're going to be using. We're going to go ahead and set the campfire pot right here, and then we just need to break out underneath and put the inventory cable down underneath of it. And then we're going to just do 5 here because I think all we're going to need is 5 campfires. We might need more, but I'm just going to do the 5 right here. So the first one here is what we're going to be using for our first setup, and we need to make sure we run a cable over here. And I'm going to put the Super Factory Manager here. You can put it wherever you want. It just needs to be touching these cables. So we've got our Factory Manager here connected to this. So what we want to do is we want to pull from our interface. And instead of putting the interface there, we're actually going to move this. And we're going to put our interface directly on top of the Factory Manager. So then we just need to run a cable to connect that to our system here. Since the interface is touching the Factory Manager, might as well be touching one of these cables. This works. Otherwise, we'd have to run the cable to it, but this is fine. And now we need to get the Skulk and Honeycomb from this sent to the campfire. But when you're setting this up, you want to make sure that we're not putting random items inside of the other slots. And each one of these slots for the campfire have a number. So for example, I believe the output slot is 0. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'm sure these are 10, 11, 12. So we're going to come over here, put our disk in here, and we go to view examples. And this is just a giant list of examples that you can go through. That'll kind of give you some idea of what this mod can do. We're just going to use a simple program. And we're going to use this as a baseline. Every 20 ticks, input from A, and then output to B is the basic thing. So you can input from hive, output to chest. For this, we are going to do input Skulk from interface. And we're going to go ahead and put this little asterisk here, because that's just going to say anything that says Skulk in it, we're going to pull from the interface. And then we want to add another line and do input comb from interface. So what this is going to do is it's going to pull the Skulk and the Honeycombs from this interface and put it into the Super Factory Manager, but it has nowhere to go at the moment. So now we need to output Skulk to camp 1. And that's what we're just going to name our first campfire. And then output comb to camp 1. So what this will do is it'll just start taking all the Skulk and outputting it to the camp. So let's go ahead and run that. And this should start sending to this once we set up our labels. So take our label gun and you want to shift right click onto your Super Factory Manager. And then if you right click into the air, you're going to have interface and camp 1. So click on interface and you want to right click on the interface and then click camp 1 and right click on the camp 1. And then just right click onto your Factory Manager. And as you can see, we are now going to start getting Skulk and Honey just filled up in here randomly because we didn't designate where that's going to go. So if we come back into our program And we do output skulk to camp 1, slot 1. And then output comb to camp 1, slot 2. Click done. And let's go ahead and clear this out. Now you can see it instantly filled up with our skulk and our honeycombs to those 2 spots, and it's not filling anything else up. So then we can go ahead and push cook, and now it's just going to automatically start making experience candies. So now we need to write some program to pull these experience candies out, and we're going to push those experience candies to the next campfire. And you can go ahead and get rid of all this gray text here. This is just kind of telling you what it is. You don't need it though. Next up, we're going to input, and we'll do the little asterisk again, and we're going to do XS for extra small from camp 1, and then output XS to camp 2, slot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And I think this will work. So then we need to shift right click on our factory manager again to get our new label, which is going to be camp 2. Right click on camp 2, and then right click back on our factory manager, and this should start sending these over. So I've gone ahead and grabbed a bunch of extra small experience candies from our Zigzagoon chest to fill this up, to just show you that now this is going to start backlogging here. Now one of the things we could do is start sending, instead of sending the candy directly to this from camp 1, we could send these extra small candies to a drawer or something that we set up here, and then pulling from those drawers to send it here. So that way, just in case we run out of room, this will still continuously go until that drawer fills up. Which honestly, I think we might do just for the sake of making sure that we're always having this running. And that way this will never just fill up and then stop working. So now we have input XS from camp 1, output XS to interface, and then input XS from interface, and output XS to camp 2. Oh, and that's where we messed up again. We forgot to put this to slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take these out. Put those all in our system. Make sure this fills up correctly. Perfect. Once we push cook on here, we're going to start getting our experience candy small. So now we want to make sure we give experience candy small somewhere to live in our drawers. And if you have any extra candy sitting around, just go ahead and put all these in there. So that way you don't have to keep bouncing back and forth and throwing your pack sold, because why not? So input S, and I hope that works compared to the extra small, from camp 2, and output S to interface. All right, is that working? That's working. Okay, so we can use the proper name for that. So it's just experience underscore candy underscore S. That's good. So change this one over. So now we want to start sending those experience candy smalls to this one. And for this one, I believe it is just going to be the top 3. Where for this one, it was all 6. Now it's just top 3, and I think the rest of them are all the same as well. Yeah, so at this point, we now have the first 3 running. And I'm going to go ahead and just set up the code for the rest of these, because it's all just more of the same. Alright, so I went ahead and wrote up the rest of this code, and it's more the same like I said. So now we need to just grab our labels. And we just need to label camp 4. And label camp 5. Push those here. And let's see if this works. Oh, and of course we need to give the slot to each of these as well. So we have the small setup, medium, and large. Set these all to 64, and just make sure these are all finishing up here. So the only other thing that I'm not quite sure how to set up with Super Factory Manager would be to do a round robin for the slots. We could definitely do it with the labels from what I'm reading, but for the actual slots of round robin, I'm not quite sure. Which just means the startup of this is going to be a little slow as we build up our candies. But once we're built up on them, it should just stay constant at that point. If we want to though, we can go ahead and spread these out a while. Just to keep it going. Make sure to turn these all on. And there we go. We're getting extra large experience candies, which means for our Pika Star here, we'll start getting plenty of these extra large set up, because we're going to need 28 of them per Pika Star, which that's why I'm setting this up now, to make sure that we'll just have plenty of them, because we're also going to want to use them too. But now that we have our experience candies set up and completely automated, we need to look at the items that we need to finish off our Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl series. The item here is a smoke ball, and I have one of them. I got it from a drop from a Pokemon. The easiest way to do this is to go to the deep dark that you found and just unalive a bunch of spirit tombs. Spirit tomb has a chance to drop this. It's going to be the easiest way to get it. Otherwise, it says you can get it from a Gimme Ghoul Tower. I'm not quite sure if you're going to actually be able to get it there. When I looked on my Explorer's compass, there was none anywhere around me for the specific one that you need. So just go find a bunch of spirit tombs. Or if you have to, start breeding them, and it'll have a chance to drop from that. The next item that we need is going to be a wind charge. We're going to just make that with Create, because all we need is some breeze rods. And we can set up a fan here. We actually have some extra fans set up from our Ultra Ball setup that we're not using anymore. We already have our Echo Shards, Thunderstones from our Zigzagoons, Shiny Stone from our Zigzagoons, Silver Powder, super easy to make. We have our Bug Gem from the Zigzagoons with some string, iron nuggets, and paper. Our Soft Sand, Rabbit Hide. We got one of the rabbit seeds from collecting our quest rewards with Mystical Agriculture, so I can just use that. Firestone, which we got from our Zigzagoons. A Psychic Seed, which in order to make that is at a smithing table with a terrain extender, a Psychic Gem, and a random seed. Terrain extender is just rabbit hide with a few easy items. We got our Psychic Seed from the Zigzagoons, and we have seeds. So we can just go do that at a smithing table to get our Psychic Seed. And then the last item that we're going to need is a Prism Scale. To get a Prism Scale, it requires brushing. We're just going to have to go brush a bunch of prehistoric ruin areas. It's fossil sites to hopefully get our hands on a Prism Scale. We're going to just use our Explorer's Compass to do that. Pretty easy, just time consuming. So I didn't realize we actually need powdered snow instead of regular snow, so that way the fan can blow through it. So we're flying to a snowy slopes biome that's about 4,000 blocks away. Honestly, it probably would have been easier to use an Explorer's Compass to find a trial chamber than fly all the way over here. I mean, as you can see, like, the chunks weren't even fully loading. I was just flying in the dark. You know, our base is like over here, right here, and I had to fly all the way down here. But this is a snowy slope, so there's a couple different ways to get powdered snow. You could put a cauldron down in this biome, and when it's snowing, it'll slowly fill up, and then you'll get a block of powdered snow. Or we can find a block of powdered snow and use a cut paste tool on it. So that's our powdered snow. They're just regular snow blocks. There we go, right here. Right? So there we go. We got a bucket of powdered snow. We're also going to grab our cut paste, and I think we should be able to use that, right? Right click with our cut paste. Get that block. Let's go ahead and cut it. And let's head back home. Now, if we come over here with this, I think we should be able to place that right here. Yep, there we go. Grab a stack of blaze rods, throw it down. And those should turn to breeze rods. Hopefully. Maybe. Perfect. Cool. Oh, gold. But now we have a stack of breeze rods, and we just need a single wind charge. Then we're going to come to our smithing table, put our terrain extender in here with our psychic gem and a seed to get our psychic seed. And then for our prism scale, we have I think about 9 different prehistoric sites. All of them seem like they're going to be fun to find. Let's try this hydrothermal vents. 1,000 blocks away, we can do that. All right, we're here. And hey, would you look at that? I'll come down here and then start brushing anything that looks suspicious. So we're going to have to probably dig some of this out. There we go. We've got a couple down here. Oh, we got a dome fossil. And unfortunately, it looks like we did not get lucky, so we're going to need to find another one. But we did get a dome fossil out of this. Maybe we'll bring that to life. Got a mossy pond just 75 blocks away. So it's probably going to be underground here somewhere. Alright, it says we found it. Ah, here we go. Here's some vicious gravel. Was that it? Let's go. We got it. That's awesome. Prism scale. We got our claw fossil as well. And since we got 3 fossils, we're going to go ahead and set this up so we can start getting these fossils. Let's go ahead and take some saplings here. And we need to fill this up with organic material. So we're just going to use our saplings because we have a ton of them and 0 use for it. Nice and full. Let's go ahead and take our dome fossil. And we need to put it in the analyzer. And then we're going to let this run. And if we look in here, you can see this little dot. That's going to become our Pokemon. You know what? I'm going to set up a second one of these so we can get our other one going too. Alright, let's put our claw fossil in this one. Cool. Look, it's getting bigger. And that one's just a wee little baby. We'll come back to these. Just got a casual car engine hanging out in our ceiling here. Critical capture. Let's go. But now that we have all of the items we need, let's go ahead and absolutely demolish these trainers. First one down. Easy peasy. Ooh, a double battle. That's kind of cool. And I never stop winning. On to the next battle. Yeah, Excalibur's a beast. Now it's time to start fighting the Elite Four. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. This might be a bit of a problem. Alright, start out with Raichu versus Dustox. Start with a nasty plot. And let's see if we can use some Thunderbolt. Close. Alright. Oh, toxic. Oh, yeah, and then there goes Raichu. See if we can get a sword stance off. Oh, okay, Earthquake. Should have saw that coming. Don't know if I'm faster. Nope. That's gonna just take Tinkaton out. The Dragon Dance off. Oh, that dark hit. And Earthquake. Oh, man. I am getting absolutely demolished by the first Elite Four meter. So let's use Trick Room. See if we can... Nope. At one hit. Drapion is absolutely annihilating us. And the dark against my ghost type definitely doesn't feel great. And we lost. So I think before we take on the Elite Four, we need to buff up our Pokemon a little bit and really take a look at our team. Like, do we have good coverage here? And I think we have decent coverage, but it probably could be better. So we need to look at maybe possibly swapping out some of our Pokemon getting some items for them, and maybe changing their natures as well. And also maybe getting some mega stones, some terrestrialization, some Z moves, Dynamaxing going on. I think there's a lot that we could do to really buff our Pokemon up and make them a lot stronger, which is what we're gonna do in the next episode, because that's gonna be it for today. This one was a bit shorter than my past couple, and I wanted to keep it that way because the past two were, almost could have been 2 episodes each, but I wanted to get all that information into a single episode because I didn't want to have to spread it out between multiples. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next one. Later.